which $30,000 first home owners grants are expiring soon, who qualifies, and what changes will occur if you're buying in these states after June 30, 2026. Hi, I'm Ross McFarlane, a licensed mortgage broker, and I've helped guide hundreds of first home buyers through the process of getting into their first home. If you're buying your first home in Queensland or Tasmania after June 2026, missing this deadline could cost you $15,000 to $20,000. Are there still grants after this date? Well, the good news is, yes, but the amounts and rules change. So let's go through these together in simple terms. What is the $30,000 first home owner grant? Well, right now, Queensland and Tasmania are offering $30,000 to eligible first home buyers. This is real money paid by the state government. It's not a tax offset and it's not a rebate. It's designed to help first home buyers get into the market sooner. However, this higher grant amount is temporary. After June 30, 2026, the $30,000 grant is scheduled to end. In Queensland, the first homeowners grant is expected to return to $15,000, and in Tasmania, it's expected to return to only $10,000. Now, this is subject to state policy changes and future changes, so this could mean that first home buyers are worse off just by missing this deadline. Now, what property types are eligible? Well, there's a lot of confusion in this. So in Queensland and Tasmania, the $30,000 grant generally applies to brand new homes, off-the-plan purchases, or building brand new homes. Established homes usually don't qualify, although they may still qualify for stamp duty concessions or discounts, depending on the state and the purchase price. So even if you're not eligible for the grant, you could save tens of thousands of dollars through reduced or waived stamp duty. Now, the deadline that actually matters. This is the most important part of the video. It's not when you move in, and it's not when construction finishes, and it's not when the grant is paid. What matters the most is when you sign the contract. So to qualify for the $30,000, your contract must be signed on or before June 30, 2026. Even if it's July 1st and everything else is identical, you could lose $15,000 to $20,000. So this is why timing matters so much. So with Queensland buyers, the key things to know: the $30,000 grant applies to new homes and builds. There is a property price cap you must stay under. Stamp duty concessions may also apply for first home buyers because many buyers assume that they can find a property first and sort out finance later. It's pretty risky. If there's finance delays, you could miss the contract deadline, and then the grant's lost. Now, with Tasmania buyers, there's a big advantage to living in Tasmania because currently one of the most generous states for first home buyers is getting $30,000 as a first home grant. Now, there's no purchase price cap for this, no stamp duty concessions, and this applies to both new and established properties. But again, the higher grant amount is time limited and eligibility is based on the contract date, not the move-in date. So how does this affect your borrowing power? Well, here's something many borrowers don't realize. Grants and stamp duty savings don't just help with cash up front, they directly affect your borrowing position. A higher grant means a lower amount that you're borrowing because lower monthly repayments is offset by a larger deposit. So you're also missing out on lender's mortgage insurance, so it's a government grant that you don't have to pay, which is fantastic. And it's the difference between a loan sometimes being approved or declined. Now, what should you do next if you're buying in Queensland or Tasmania? There are some things you need to know that you should be doing right now. First, understand what you can actually afford with grants and stamp duty. Second, confirm what property types you can qualify for. New, established, or building all have very different outcomes. And third, work backwards from June 30, 2026 deadline, not forward. So not when you're moving in, but when the contracts are signed, because finance delays can often cause buyers to miss out on grants or deadlines. So the final takeaway, if you're a first home buyer in Queensland or Tasmania, it's $30,000. It is a use it or lose it opportunity, but the rules will change after this date. You're still eligible for tens of thousands of dollars worth of grants, but they're just not as much. Now, if you would like to see what you can afford, including grants and stamp duty discounts, use the first home buyer calculator below, linked to this video. I'm Ross McFarlane, and thanks for watching.